Hello, everyone out there in Facebook land. I'm going to take a couple minutes here at the start of my live stream to make sure I share this out with the rest of the world while we are waiting for everyone else to jump on. Now, my last live stream on Monday, ooh, that got munched so bad, and then I was out of internet for the whole day. My internet company got lots of annoyed phone calls about that. But, shit happens. And today I'm going to be talking about my biggest tip for knowing whether I'm in center or not. And we're going to be doing some card pulls at the end. So it'll be a nice afternoon together. I won't take up too much of your time. There we go. Ooh, Facebook actually shared that out. So hello, everybody. In case you don't know me, I am Lindsay Baldessano, and I'm from Super Seeker Powers Coaching. And I love to help empaths and intuitives and spiritually gifted people, women, goddesses, all of us, master our relationship to soul self, master our relationship to our spiritual gifts like empathy, intuition, all the clairaudience, clairsentience, blah, blah, and also the relationship to their dreams. Because when you are trying to birth that big vision, you're going to need to up-level yourself, your energy, and how you're living from soul. Because it needs that energy, and it needs something more than what we've been doing. Because if we need to write a book and we start, we don't always know what it's going to take. We don't always know where it's going to go. And we need to have the processes in the center developed in order to carry those projects into fruition. It doesn't just happen. We have to train ourselves. We have to train our energy. We have to train our skills, because you still need skills to write a book. You still need skills to run a business. But you have to know what you need. And you have to know how to be able to figure out what you need. Anyway, that's my spiel. That's what I love to do. I love to help women get into that sweet spot so they can find out what they need and learn how to go and get it and have those processes in place for your intuitive side, your creative side, to make those dreams happen. But today we're doing card pulls at the end. So if you stay to the end, you can have a Miracles Now card drawn for you by Gabrielle Bernstein. And I'm going to drop one of my biggest tips about how to know you're uncentered. Because the minute you know, you figure it out, crap, what have I been doing? What am I doing here? The minute you know, you can come back to center. You stop wasting your time. You stop wasting your energy on things you don't need to figure out, on things you don't need to really invest any time or energy into. We all think it's so hard to get over our emotions and to get over what we're going through and to come to center. And we have these ideas that it takes all this time and all this energy and we have to spend it all meditating, but it doesn't. We only ever have to heal the present moment. Again, each breath in each moment. Now, some moments do suck. Coming to center doesn't necessarily take the suckage out of that. Can't turn shit into gold unless you do some work around it, unless you do some planting with it. But there are some very obvious ways, of course, that you know you're not going to be in center, in your spiritual center. And I know we all think and we all want to believe we're coming from this deeper place. And because we know a little bit about ourselves and our soul and how we work, that means we're coming from center. That means we're in a little bit, we might be close to center. It might be that we're hearing some guidance, but it doesn't mean we're always recognizing it for what it is. But the really more obvious ways to know that you're not in center, and I have a whole blog article about this that I'll be posting tomorrow with a really cool infographic you might want to download about this. But when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, when you're in worry, panic, or anxiety, when you're doing manic planning, like, oh my God, it's going to go this way, it's going to go that way, I'm going to have 30,000 backup plans. When you're in over-analysis mode, what did he mean by that? What did I mean by that? What does that mean about me? When you're experiencing time warps, when either time is going too slowly or too quickly, you're not in center, you're not experiencing the present moment. And when you are stuck in cyclical patterns, sure, you might come to center and you might experience the moment, even if you're experiencing cyclical patterns of something like depression or anxiety. But overall, you're probably spending more time trying to figure out and deal with those patterns than you are simply trying to come into the moment and feeding your needs right now. But it does get more, it is a little bit more tricky than that for such a simple concept. If you are emotionally triggered, you are not in your center. If you are feeling reactive, you are not in your center. Because everybody thinks that being in your center means you have to be happy, it has to be positive, it has this whole perfection notion behind it. But that's not what being in your center is. Being in your center simply means that you have found some kind of peace with the role you are playing in whatever circumstance you're in right now. Doesn't mean you have to like it. Doesn't mean you have to go along with it. Doesn't mean you have to condone it. But it means you have peace with your role, what you do and what you say in that circumstance. If you are at peace with the role you have played, you are in center about that. And here's why. Because it's very important to point out, especially to people who are sensitive, to people who are intuitive, to people who are more focused on others than themselves. Because we end up taking on too much responsibility or too little responsibility in most situations. And part of that, I think, is human nature. It's part of ego. Ego is black and white. It's either me or it's them. Many sensitives will come inside and will say, like, oh my God, this is so totally about me. I'm such a fuck up. Why did I let this happen again? Why didn't I have the boundaries I needed? Like, they turn it inward. Or it could be totally opposite, especially if you don't feel you're sensitive, maybe you're more intuitive, you're more of a clair person, a clairsentient person, and you're saying, like, I can see that in that person, and wow, they need to clean their shit up. That's the blame game. Or it has nothing to do with you, or it has everything to do with you. It's usually one or the other when you're coming from ego, because ego likes to judge. So one of the quickest ways, and this is my tip, one of the quickest ways to know whether you are in center or not in center is, who are you blaming? Who are you judging in this situation? You could be in judgment about both of them. Now, judgment isn't a bad thing, but we all need judgment. We all need discernment. But when we're taking it out or trying to punish ourselves because of that judgment, or punishing somebody else because of that judgment, that's how you know it went too far. That's how you know it's like, I have misconstrued this. I have either taken on too much or too little responsibility, and I need to take a step back. Because the fact is, It takes two to tango in every situation. That is the barest, most simple fact. And if you're punishing yourself because somebody else reacted badly, you're taking too much responsibility. If an accident happened and you're all mad and pissed off, and you're only blaming the other person in the situation, you're judging them, you're judging the situation. You need to come back and say, an accident happened. You need to come back to the bare facts, because the minute we start feeding into things that are speculation, things that are, guessing, speculation, things that are one or the other, black or white, that remove one person's responsibility, either yourself or the other, from any given situation, you're no longer speaking truth. You're no longer coming at it from that bare facts, and you're going to be totally reactive, and that's when your triggers come into play. So it's the judgment. Watch what you're judging. If you're saying, like, why did I say that? Oh my God, you're judging yourself way too harshly. You're coming at it from this ego perspective where you are wrong, where you can be wrong, and somebody else is more right. Or there was another way to say it, not simply just what you said in that moment. But you don't know that. And ego only ever knows what happened in the past. Ego doesn't know what's going to happen in the future. It doesn't always know what is the right thing to say right now. That's why we need to be integrated beings. Because our soul messages aren't going to be ones of judgment. They're going to be ones of love. Soul is not going to tell you you're some fat, lazy, stupid person, and that's why your life sucks. That is not soul talking. That is only fear. And the more you can trace that back in your day-to-day living, how many times did I really diss myself today? The easier it's going to be to say, you know what, who cares? That doesn't sound loving. That doesn't sound right. And just move on. Because not all healing has to be wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, everything's cleared. Sometimes healing is just as subtle as saying, I totally hear that I am being way too hard on myself. Let me go take a walk and clear this shit and just let it go for now. Because we're never going to reach a state of perfection, perfectly healed, always ready to go. We're always in this mix because we're on the earth plane, because we have a physical body. This is what we're here to experience. We just need to figure out when we're in judgment and when we're in center. Because when we're in judgment, we need to come back to center. We need to give somebody, either another person or ourselves, just a little bit more love and a little bit more TLC around whatever the circumstance is. Whether it's having to get money because you're short on your bills. Well, bare facts. I'm sure there might be other things you could be trying, other jobs you could be applying for, signing up to get benefits. But that doesn't mean you're bad, evil, wrong, or totally screwed up because you happen to be in that situation. One has nothing to do with the other. Your value as a soul, as a light in this world, has nothing to do with the circumstances you're in. And there's no use in punishing yourself over it. You need an action plan. You need to stick with the bare facts, deadlines, and making sure you do do what you need to do, filling out the paperwork, getting the bill paid off, calling to get a payment plan, whatever it is. But beating yourself up or blaming somebody else isn't going to get any of that done. And it's only burning your precious resources of time and energy. So the quicker you can figure out who you're blaming, who you are holding in judgment, harsh judgment, the faster you can just dump that shit and get on what you need to get on with. Now, I will be doing some card pulls from the Miracle Now deck, Miracles Now by Gabriel Bernstein. If anybody happens to be on and want a card, I do have somebody in the wings who said they couldn't be on and they want a card pulled for them, so I will do that in just a minute. And so coming back to that judgment thing again real quick, because this is going a little bit long for what I like to keep it at, because I know you're all busy and I know you're all trying to figure out where you are at and how to make it better. I do want to say that daily practice helps. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, she's telling me to meditate more. Well, meditation for me is just shifting your mindset, shifting your ability to drop from the daily ego consciousness to something else. And you can do that while you're washing dishes, while you're feeling the water flow over your hands. You can do that in the tub. When you're listening to the water pour from the drain, you can do that as you take a walk. Meditation doesn't have to be, I'm sitting on my zazen pillow and I'm going at this for 20 minutes straight, thinking of absolutely nothing. Which takes time to build up to. Don't hold yourself to perfect standards. But it is daily practice of meditation. And for me, I don't ever expect, and I never teach anybody to expect to come to the same place and center every day, because every single day, every single moment is different. And we all need different things each day and each moment. New qualities of love, new qualities of appreciation. Every day's just a little bit different. But if you can set up a couple steps that help you probe into where you are that day, into those delicious feelings and guidance that is coming through, you'll be able to figure out how you need to shift, how you need to come from that sweet, sweet spot of center, and where that is for you that day. And I do have a free meditation in my Inner Priestess library that I can give to you all, and I will drop the link for that. And I am launching the Inner Priestess Library this month. So I've been talking all about it and all about this daily practice meditation and some things to help you build your daily practice. There's a lot of tools and resources around that in the Inner Priestess Library. But I do want to mention that I am giving away this beautiful necklace. And I can customize the cord to whatever you need. Just let me know. But it's a glass bottle, ready for your gemstone chips, for your beautiful essential oil blends, whatever you need to keep your vibe raised, because that's part of your daily practice too. And I will drop the link so you can get into the giveaway for that. There's only 6 days left for the giveaway. So if you've been thinking about joining the Inner Priestess Library, which is free, and you want to get into that giveaway, then make sure you do it today, tomorrow, because there's only 6 days left before we pull the winner for the necklace. And please share this around so other people have the chance to join too, and a chance to get into that giveaway. And I am drawing a card. I don't see anybody on right now. But I do know that Rob wanted a card pulled for him. I'll probably pull a card for somebody else as well, because I know they can use all the love and attention and healing they can get this week. I just picked this deck up yesterday. I saw somebody else using it online, and I was like, ooh, that's so pretty, I need that. My Ooh Shinies came out. And one card wants to jump out. So, Rob, when you've overshared, I simply say, why am I talking? When I've overshared, I simply say, wait, why am I talking? There's irony behind that. I know Rob. Okay, I'm not going to interpret that too much for Rob, because he's going to be laughing his ass off when he gets this. I told him that I would pop the card into my Thriving and Free Empaths and Intuitives group, so he would see that. Rob likes to talk. So it's funny that the universe is saying that today. But I know Rob is trying to manifest some big shit around his career right now. So, yeah, listening is probably the key to knowing how to meet future employers' needs. So you listen to what they're saying, maybe what's not being said, and you work with that kind of intuitive information when you are interviewing. And I will draw another card for Kim. I know Kim Barron is in a place where love needs to flow more. The key to getting what I want is to ask for it. Actually, I'm going to PM you, Kim, with a little bit more on that, because I don't want to talk too personally here on a public live stream about that, because I get some good hits around that. But as to what you wrote in your email to me today about you are the goddess and you need to step up, you're the goddess. You need to invoke that shit into this world. Not because you want to believe it, not because you wish someday it'll be true, but because you know with how you're working and the light you're pulling into this world, that what you're trying to manifest is an eventuality, not just a possibility. So invoke that shit, Kim. And I will drop the link for the giveaway and the Inner Priestess Library in just a second here. Let me do it now so I can actually get it pinned to the top. The things you learn about live streaming as you're doing it. Nobody writes instruction booklets for these things. And then they change it from like day to day, week to week, and you're like, it worked that way last week. Why doesn't it work that way this week? But remember, there's only 6 days left for the giveaway for the glass bottle necklace. So once I drop this link, if I can find it, oh, here it is. Go sign up for the library so you can be part of the giveaway. Now, I will be on again on Friday. That will be in my Thriving and Free Empaths and Intuitives group for a more card reading and more messages coming through for this weekend. there'll be a lot of messages coming through because we're heading into the eclipse season and Mercury retrograde again. And I am on the ball with this. And I am here to support you. And I will be pulling out all my resources about how to stay high vibe in all these, no, how to stay centered in all these high vibe times. That's what it is. And I'm going to be doing a workshop in my free group for that. And I will start promoting that very shortly, probably this afternoon. So you can sign up for the details and make sure you get into the group for that. Because it's free. Because free is wonderful. And I want to meet you all. So free is the best way to do that. All right. Love you. And I will see you Friday, hopefully, in the Thriving in Free Empaths and Intuitives group.